YouTube. Today we're going to be going over the top tools that I've either reviewed or acquired in 2025. So let's go ahead and get right into that on Tinker with Tools. Now 2025 was a big year for the channel. We crossed 10 million total views. We crossed 20,000 subscribers. It was a good year of growth, but also we saw a large number of tools either come to the channel and be reviewed in short form content or long form content. So today what I want to do is actually go through and talk about some of the top tools that I acquired or reviewed here on the channel in 2025 and kind of highlight some of the good that I'm seeing out there in the tool world. Now, previously on the channel, I actually reviewed a group of 5 different air dusters, including the original Wolfbox MF100, and then I've also got the Milwaukee, the Makita, a Melif one, and a Ryobi one. Since that time, I've actually gotten the MF200 and gifted the MF100 to someone else. The Wolfbox is a bit premium in terms of how it compares to some of the other stuff on Amazon, but overall you can usually get this one for under $100. What's nice about the MF200 is it actually now has a removable battery, so you can't even purchase spare batteries and really be able to kind of take advantage of some extended runtime on here. Now obviously when you move over to something like this Milwaukee, you're getting a price increase, but it is competitive with other premium kind of precision blowers that we already had, like the Makita. Now personally, I do prefer the Makita over the Milwaukee just by a slight edge, but that by no means the Milwaukee is a bad tool. I really still do like it. It does have a permanent place out on my workbench, and both of these are easy buy recommendations for me, so be sure to check them out if you haven't already. Next up, we're going to go rapid fire through some various non-power tools that I've tried this year and really love. First is going to be this hex key bit set from Railer, and this is not that expensive. It's about $15 on Amazon. It comes with both SAE and metric bit sizes. They work with all your various bit holders, bit holding screwdrivers, can work in your impact driver and everything. Really awesome, cheap way to get some hex key bit set, and really probably the best option that's out there in my opinion. For a long time, I'd recommend these Vessel bit holding keychains to people, and this year we saw an explosion in the marketplace of different options here. We have options from Klein, DeWalt, and then also from Milwaukee, in addition to the already existing good ones from Vessel. So there's a lot of different options here. These are fairly inexpensive, and so I really do like that you've got a lot of different options to find the one that fits your needs best and give you the ability to kind of carry your most commonly used bits right out in front where you need them. Next up is going to be a bag from Holstry. This is going to be the Joey Pouch Pro. Now there is some webbing and stuff over here, so you can go ahead and clip tools on the outside of it. You can carry tools on the inside, and then it does also have a drawstring that allows you to kind of secure fasteners in there. I used this when I was installing my sprinklers and kind of doing some of the wiring, carrying various wires, tools, and also wire nuts in here. It worked wonderfully, and I love just to be able to load it up with a quick few things, have it there and ready to go, and just be able to clip it right onto my belt and have instant storage. Next up, we're going to be talking about 2 different sets of pliers. First is going to be the long nose slip joint pliers, the Icon dupes of the ever famous snap-on pliers. This is a tool that I wanted to try the less expensive Icon version to decide that if I wanted to buy the snap-on version, and really what ended up happening is I've just stuck to the Icon version and never purchased the more expensive version. But really these pliers are awesome. There's a lot of great versatility here, and something that I do find carrying in my tool bag just because of how versatile they really are. Next then is going to be the most recent kind of Klein forged wire stripper release. These are their slim forged wire strippers, and they have these in this version and then also a yellow handle version that has slightly different options. For years have loved the Knipex forged wire strippers, and although Klein has some less expensive wire strippers that have a lot of the same features as those, they never had the locking ability so that when it's spring loaded, you can lock it and it stays closed. Now Klein has introduced that on several pliers, including this pair, and so you do have a lot of the same functionality and features as those forged wire strippers at roughly half the price, and so I think it's a much more accessible tool and one that is going to cover a lot of people's bases. And one more from Klein. This is something that I've been meaning to talk about on the channel in a longer form video for quite some time. This is the Klein Fast Bit true grip screwdriver, and really it's a ball grip screwdriver, which I already love. I've had plenty from Vessel and Annex over the years, but what I think is so cool about this one is it will literally accept just about any type of bit. It just slots in, and then once it is in there, it really securely holds it. I think Klein really knocked it out of the park with this one, and it's something that I hope they continue to use this bit holding mechanism on other things, because it is absolutely awesome and really a great addition to Klein's lineup. Now, the last item in the non-power tools is going to be the Irwin Quick Lift Construction Jack. This is obviously, you've seen this from other companies before. I believe Viking Arm had kind of the original one that a lot of people used for like cabinet installs and things like that. And then DeWalt came out with one, and then Irwin, also under that same Stanley Black & Decker parent company, came out with theirs for about $20 less. So you can imagine that's why I have this version of it. Now, I used this when I was building out my shed floor to really kind of get everything nice and level, while also lifting sometimes as much as 200 pounds with it, and just being able to very precisely tune it in exactly where I want it, have it held firmly, and just really works as almost like a second pair of hands. It's a really handy tool, and one that I've found myself using more and more, and it really just comes in handy. Now, 2025 was the year of some new impact drivers. Kind of as always, that's one of the tools that you do see coming out quite a bit. And today we're going to be talking about 3 different impact drivers that really impressed me this year. First, the one that came out earliest was this new one from Bosch, the 1950C. And this was an impact driver that completely changed my opinion of Bosch impact drivers in the whole. Not only was it stronger, smoother, and faster than their previous freak style impact drivers, but it just was nice to use and worked well. It's not the strongest, it's not the fastest impact driver, but it is pretty nice to use. Really a step in the right direction for their impact drivers. And then we did get a Gen 2 of the Milwaukee M18 Surge, and although it was not maybe everything that everyone wanted, I still do think it's a worthy improvement over the Generation 1. It can be competitive with the DeWalt. I do find that I actually like using the Milwaukee a little bit more than the DeWalt, even though they're both excellent tools. It has its capabilities increased a little bit, making it so you could use this as your only impact driver more of the time. Really nice step in the right direction. And now, last but not least, we're going to be talking about the Makita XGT high torque impact driver. Now, this is one that came out late in November, got my hands on it, started making a couple of videos on it. And since then, I have not really picked up a whole lot of other impact drivers because I keep just turning to this one. It's a nice blend of being strong and powerful, can be competitive with some of the best impact drivers out there in terms of power and speed, but it still retains a lot of the nice to use qualities that makes a Makita. Now, 2025 was also a time when I got pretty big into the 18 to 20 volt multi-head drill drivers, and we have 2 examples here. First off, from DeWalt, they're 5-in-1. They previously had a version of this tool down on 12 volt. They brought it to their 20 volt max lineup, but earlier in the year, I also reviewed FlexiClick, but this is an update of the 535 model, bringing kind of that 800 drill that I love so much. Gives you a lot of the same things like the precision clutch, the kickback control that we can turn on and off. It's a really nice drill to use. And when I did the head-to-head, I kind of found that there's really not a bad one out there. They are all pretty good in this space. Versatility, these are definitely 2 tools that I will grab and use consistently and enjoy using them throughout. So be sure to go ahead and check out that full video out and let me know if you have any questions on these. Because earlier in the year, I made a video of tool features that I just cannot stand. And one of them was from this Bosch Go 3 screwdriver. And the big thing with it is it has a pressure mode where when you go ahead and put pressure on the front of it, it just starts to drive the fastener. And when you're trying to use it for something where you're trying to reverse or be really precise about it, that mode is actually quite annoying. But in the latter half of the year, I had a couple of different times when we were either assembling something that needed a lot of screws put in, or kind of just installing something with a bunch of different screws. And when you're in that mode, that push to kind of drive is actually a nice feature. I really do like it. So this is not something that I turn to all the time, but if I'm doing that type of work, this is actually a really nice, powerful, still quick screwdriver, ergonomic and easy to use. I just still wish there's a way to defeat that mode or turn it off, but for installation or assembly, it really doesn't bother me that much, and otherwise it's a great tool and something that I have enjoyed using. So I get a flip-flop on that one a little bit. I still don't love that mode, but I love the screwdriver, and so I've been using it more and more. Now, something that I don't have here on the table tonight is actually the robot lawnmower that I reviewed earlier this year, the Momotion Luba Mini all-wheel drive. It is the only lawnmower that I have used up until the very last mow of my new backyard, where I actually did use kind of my traditional style lawnmower one time just to pick up some debris towards the end of the year. But other than that, every mowing that I did during the course of the year, usually 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times a week, was done by the Momotion. The lawn always looked great. It draws quite a crowd sometimes watching this thing do the work. And this is something that I'm going to continue working with them in the future. And I'm excited to be able to review more of their products, because they really do kind of change the way you look at a task like mowing your lawn. And it really just kind of gives you the ability to have a good looking lawn all the time. So look for more to come from Momotion, but for what I can say about my current lawnmower, it's excellent and I'm happy to have it. One of the bigger tools that we're going to be talking about today is going to be one that I haven't actually formally reviewed here on the channel. I have mentioned it a couple of different times, but this is going to be the Milwaukee Rear Handle Circular Saw Gen 2 Model 2930. And this is an incredible saw. I got it earlier this year, and then I just still have not done a full review of it. Now, that doesn't mean that I have not been using it. I used it to build a large wheelchair ramp over at my dad's house. I use this saw almost exclusively to build the shed floor for my new shed. The things I'll say about it is it just has tons of power. It's the weight reduction from Gen 1 to Gen 2. Really something that I love, and I really just haven't used a whole lot of other rear handle circular saws since picking this one up, because it is just that good. So I can't say enough good things about it. I need to do a full review of it, a dedicated review, but overall this is one that I have continued to use and continue to love. It is a great saw. Another obscure tool, and one that I definitely would not say is in my traditional wheelhouse of tools that I'd use all the time, is going to be the Grabo lifter. And this is kind of the traditional original Grabo. This is not the Grabo Pro. It's not the DeWalt version of this tool, but I will be sure to have links to the DeWalt one, because if you're on the DeWalt platform already, I think that's good. But I actually was at Lowe's one day. This was on clearance for about $130. I picked it up and I remember bringing it home and showing it to a couple of people, and they were like, why on earth do you need that? You don't need this tool until you need this tool, and that's when you're really lucky to have it. It really is kind of a luxury. Once you have used it, you will find any type of use you can to pull it out and just kind of give yourself an extra handle on something, make it easier to lift. The suction power is super strong. Really glad I have this. I'll have links to this one, but then also, like I said, the DeWalt version of it, because I think that's going to be more convenient for most people. But in terms of how it is to use, it is excellent, and I can't recommend it enough. All right, down to the final two. First one is going to be the Milwaukee M12 speaker, and really this is just going to go to kind of the new generation of Milwaukee speakers. I purchased this when they had a battery deal and ended up returning the batteries and getting this for, I think it was about $60, $70. And overall, this speaker has replaced a smaller one from Sonos that I used previously. Fairly rugged, has pretty good sound quality, seems to run for just about ever. This is currently running on a 1.5 amp hour battery from M12, and it just keeps running. It has pack out compatibility, but the one thing I'm really excited for is the ability to kind of link this up to other M12 and M18 speakers. This is something that I thought was kind of high priced and overpriced, if you will. But being able to get it on a sale and then using it, it's sort of changed my mind, and I'm really pretty impressed with it. Last item we're going to be talking about is just kind of further improvements and enhancements in batteries. And so what I have here are just some examples of tabless or kind of stacked lithium cell batteries that have come out in the last year and have just further kind of pushed battery technology forward. So over here I've got the Milwaukee Forge 8.0. I could also have the Milwaukee Forge 12.0 that came with the rear handle saw. That's also an awesome battery. From DeWalt, I have their 3.5 power stack battery, but I also could have their 4 amp hour power pack battery with tablet cells. And then I finally tried the Makita BL4040F, their 4 amp hour XGT battery that also has tablet cells. But really it's just representative of how these companies are pushing battery technology forward and kind of harnessing this to give us tools that we never really thought were possible, and even in form factors that we didn't think were possible as well. I'm a big fan of these advanced batteries and definitely hope to continue to see more in the future from companies like Bosch with their Expert batteries, or even continue to see more batteries from these same companies. Milwaukee, once again, compact forged battery. Come on, make it happen in 2026. It'll be awesome. So there you have it. That is my rundown of the 2025 tools that I absolutely love. So be sure to check out the links to all of them, either down in the description below or in the YouTube shopping part that you can also see some of these linked in. If you have any questions about any of these, go ahead and leave these in the comments down below. I'll be sure to get some answers for you. If you like this sort of video, go ahead and hit that like button. And as always, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified when I put out a new video. And until next time, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.